Hello there, I didn't see you. Today we're going to be continuing with the Let's Talk About series, and we're going to be running around a soldier, giving our thoughts and feelings on it, and trying to stay roughly on topic. I'll see you in the pub. Oof, ouch, hello, my bones. We're playing some soldier again today. And by again, I mean I think I've only ever played him like a total of once on my channel, but it'll be nice to have a little video talking about him, because variety is the spice of life, as is smashing your face on the ground constantly. But yeah, let's get on into it. I don't play an awful lot of soldier. I think he's like maybe my 4th or 5th most played class. I think I've mentioned in the past, I'm not the most projectile-minded boy. So when it comes to stuff like demo and soldier, it just doesn't quite work with my head. I'm fine with hit scans, you know, spy, sniper, scout. But for some reason, just the fact that stuff has a bit of a delay on it just screws with my head to no end. And my solution to that is to run the, like, gunboats and die instantly to full damage. My solution to all of life's problems is to try and turn every class into a melee class. So I like running around with the Market Gardener, as you may or may not have worked out by now. I did used to have a strange one, obviously, but, you know, I got rid of that along with everything else because I felt like it wasn't the best idea, basically, to have a strange Market Gardener with, like, 1,000 kills on it. It's kind of, could sell that and make, like, you know, 1 Freddo's worth of cash back. But yeah, one of my favourite things in the game by far is rocket jumping, specifically soldiers rocket jumping. Like, I'm not really a... Okay, sure. I'm not really the sticky jumpy boy. I like to, you know, jump around an air pogo as much as everyone else. And by air pogo, I mean attempt to. I'm not exactly the best, but my old tactic was basically just to run around during MVM pre-game and do that, but yeah. I'm alright at rocket jumping. I've done a fair bit of rocket jump maps. Something that we sometimes do on stream is play... Are we friends? You want a high five? Okay, I guess I made a friend. Hello. You alright there? Yeah? Okay, well. That was a bit strange. But yeah, rocket jumping is genuinely one of my favourite things in the games. I think mobility is one of the most fun things you can have in, like, any video game. So, while I always like to complain about the Dead Ringer speed boost on being a bit broken, the fact that you can just run super fast is really cool. So I like using that in rollouts. And the fact that Soldier lets you literally teleport around the map by going like poof, poof. It's so much fun. Like, you can't do that on Medic. You can't just zoom around at the speed of sound. And, you know, because you've got places to go. You've got to follow your rainbow. And, you know, the rest of the Sonic intro. I don't know. It's just something about it. The air strafing, the mobility, the different types of speed you get based on how close you are to the rocket. Like, if I rocket jump next to a wall, I go really fast. Whereas if I do a distant one like that, it's a slow hop. It's just, there's so much ingenuity built in that it's genuinely, I think, one of the best mechanics in, like, any FPS. I don't know what would overshadow the fact that you have, like, a near infinite amount of variation that you can learn and practice. There's no variation on rocket jumping. Like, if you shoot a rocket against a wall every single time and perfectly do the exact same mouse movement every single time, you'll always make the same movement. And I love that. I love consistency. That's why I like, you know, ambi spy over knife spy, basically, was because you could practice killing people based off of your own skill, rather than hoping they don't turn around. Oh, I didn't die. Shit, I'm going to die though, aren't I? Goodbye, cruel world. Oh, a little bit of the flank play, though. Wait. Backstab. But yeah, I liked Ambi Spy because it basically gave you something consistent to practice, that you would do good against other players based on how good you were, based on them, rather than based on them, obviously. So, the fact that you can rocket jump and you can learn, you get really good players. You go on, there's YouTube, there's various channels, but there's like, Rocket Jump Weekly, ? Who used to upload, I guess they still do, nice rocket jump videos from, you know, the world records on various maps. Something incredibly satisfying about watching them. So yeah, one of the reasons that I guess my Soldier isn't played less than demo, I should say, is just because I find rocket jumping a million times more fun than sticky jumping. What I don't like is how apparently I've forgotten how to Market Garden, and all I can do is do normal melee hits, but that's fine. May I have a quick arrow, if possible? That's not a crossbow. If you'd have seen my Medic video, you'd know that the crossbow is the only primary you should ever use, but, you know, that's alright. He's using the Diamondback. I got headshot. Oh yeah, we're playing a video game. I'm sorry, I got lost in my own thoughts. I was thinking while talking, which is probably not the best idea. And also, for some reason, I've never fixed my HUD, so I was looking for where the timer was. It looks like in the top right... Yeah, they've got a full 3 minutes left, so that gives us a little bit more time to talk around. We can also switch off and use a different weapon. Original. Something about it. I've been using it more and more lately. Obviously, I've used the stock way more. Like, we did do it, Comrade. We did it terrifically. Do you want to go up and get this health cabinet? I've been using it a lot lately on jump maps, because it makes pogoing a lot of fun. And by pogoing, if you don't do a lot of rocket jumping, it's when you just go poof, poof, poof in a straight line along the ground. Like, you just do a little couple hippy to the hops in a row. For some reason, just, I guess because it comes out the center of the screen, I find it a lot oh no! I find it a lot easier to do, because it doesn't come out the right. Apparently, I'm also an idiot. You'll have to forgive me. I've been gone for about a week and a half for Christmas. Went to go visit various family members in various houses. So I haven't been playing video games. So I might be a little rusty. Please forgive me that I fell into a pit as the mobile class. I hope you'll understand. When you haven't been using... I've just done it again! I have... Yay, we won. let's re-lobby. Let's go again. That's alright. Let's go the classic Highlander soldier loadout of Black Box, Conch, Escape Plan. Classic old loadout. I have no HUD apparently. That's alright, I can fix that with HUD reload scheme, or we can just play as if this is a jump movie. I'm not using the gunboats, am I? Okay, yeah, if I'm not going to be playing with a HUD for a little bit, I should probably take care of the fact that I'm not using the gunboats, and each rocket jump isn't going to take like 5. It's going to take like 500. But yeah, this is like, you know, a favourite of soldiers worldwide, and a least favourite of anyone who doesn't use it, because sometimes it's a bit bullshit that you're fighting another soldier and he wins just because he heals for like 5. But, I also don't have much... Okay, I'm going to have to count my ammo. 1, 2... 3. Okay, I have three rockets. Soldiers like Shadowburn used to use this loadout a shitload in Highlander. It's really strong. It's health regen in a shooter, in addition to the mobility that you normally have on soldier. Oh, airshotty. In addition to the usual mobility is insane. The fact that I'm now about to go toot-a-roo. That's right. Make sure to toot-a-roo every time you toot. It's huge. Health regen, you can just run up to a Pyro, random crit him in the face for 135, see another soldier, just madly jump at him. It doesn't matter if he hits me with a rocket, because I'll instantly regen it. Okay, let me fix my head. Oh, yeah, there we go, we fixed it. Record demos stop. As I have been told, I did mention it on another video, I had like an invisible players glitch, and I mentioned HUD reload scheme. You are meant to do demos stop and start. I think I did mean that, but I just... didn't quite vocalize it correctly. But anyway, onwards with the Contra, which is one of the strongest weapons in the game. I genuinely think so. For not only did it used to be trash, but they buffed it to make it fun. And that's what I think is all it takes. What am I even saying? Basically, it lets everyone around you run really fast and get health regen, and I don't honestly know what could be much better than that. Like, the battalion's backup is also really good. Very underused. Genuinely really underused. If you play 6s, especially if you're playing, like, open or mid, you can basically have a mini-Uber. People don't expect people to run it, so you get your, you know, 220 health. I'm not sure what it is. 350 overheal? I should probably know this. Alright, we're going to continue. We're going to do a little equalizer rollout, as classic pockets used to do. I don't know if... I'm assuming people still do it. Apparently people have started to run a lot of, like, gunboat soldier stuff lately on pocket. I guess it's fun to be able to rocket jump everywhere and have the medic heal less, but I don't know. I've always thought pocket was meant to have a shotgun. Apparently I'm just wrong about that. But yeah, you damage yourself a little bit down to about 30, and then you do a rollout roughly at medic speed. You know, a little bit faster, and then you have your Roma, just rocket jump everywhere. You're right there, Moto Suke Hig Ashi Kata. You are Zuvermensch, yeah. Anyway, yeah, the Conch is really, really good, and the battalions is also really, really good. I feel like the buff banner's a little overshadowed now. Like, it used to be that those two were shit, and the buff banner was the only good one, especially when the Beggar's Bazooka came out. I think it was like 2012, question mark? It was so strong. You could turn a corner and do, like... I don't know, like 400 damage in like one pelt of rockets, and it was broken as hell, and they had to nerf the bazooka a bunch. But yeah, a little while back, I think it was around the summer update where they fixed the L'Étranger, the much-loved summer update. They made it so the conch wasn't total bullshit. It used to be that you had to hurt yourself, I think, to get any buff out of it. And also it was just a speed boost, so most people would be like, okay, I could damage other people to get an attack boost, or I could take like 600 damage and get a slight speed boost. So naturally no one used it because it was trash. Actually one of the worst weapons in the game. Not only because it did no damage, because it's a banner, but also because it took up the secondary slot. But Soldier already has, you know, the gunboats, the shotgun, and the buff banner. It was crap. And then they made it so it's, you know, how it is now, where it's really broken. But as a result, by making it so good, they've made the buff banner, even without changing it, they've made the buff banner in comparison to be much worse. Could someone rocket jump at me? I want to pretend like an airshot. Maybe not, maybe not. But yeah. Also around that time, or maybe a couple of years later, they made the black box worse. It used to be always 15 health per player hit, so it meant that you could shoot into a group of enemies and get like 30, 45 health back. What was that? That was awful. I should have like jumped far away. I'm used to the gunboats, so you'll have to forgive me. Normally if I'm on like 60 health, I'll just rocket jump away to an ammo pack or a health pack. So I'm not really showing off the conch. The conch is really good on defense and offense, I personally think. The battalions I honestly also think is better on offense than defense, but that's alright. What are you doing, Scout? You're just going to the health pack, are you? That's alright. I'll just shoot you and then run away. He's probably going to spawn camp and take out our teleport. Yeah, that's what he's doing. I like doing that on offense. There's also going to be 8 people on the other side of this door, so we'll let our teammate check first. What am I doing? I wanted to rocket jump and then I like lost my mind. That's alright. We're just going to rocket jump miles away to an health pack. This is my personal soldier strat. I like to play it a bit like I play Spy. We're kind of in the backfields, and especially we got health regen on us with the conch. If we just wait half a second, now we've got enough health that we can survive everything. We can get back in the action, but I don't really like playing passively. I like being secretly around the backfields, picking people off as they work. I'm not really the kind of guy to sit inside of his medic and shoot over and over and over again. Oh, you saw that. You saw the dream there. But yeah, apparently their team's just pushing a little bit too strong, so we actually are just going to have to spam the cart a little bit. Maybe someone will chase us. Maybe we'll get the toot. One more. Now we've got the toot. Okay, now we can actually defend the cart. Here, we're going to hopefully not just die to a crit rocket. And we're going to be able to show off how cool the conch is. So that guy's got the same rocket launcher as us, and presumably more HP. But if we use a little bit of cheeky speed boostery... What am I doing? I'm tired, forgive me. But yeah, we can kind of just run around and cause havoc, even though we haven't really been killing too much. We've been worrying them, and that's worked fine for me. I just heard a humongous spy decloak sound. Goodbye, Scout. Thanks for that. Also, by the way, crits in pubs fill your banners so incredibly fast. Like, it's an unbelievable thing. If you get any crit, it's basically just like a free banner, but yeah. What we're doing here, classic old soldiery thing of waiting for that guy to rocket jump at me, maybe? Oh, I missed the air shot. He strafed slightly. My one weakness. He used his mobility to his advantage. We're doing the old classic thing of I have a slight height advantage, so I'm going to abuse the shit out of it. And that's basically how you play soldier. Like, if you've always at a height advantage, you can always kill people with splash damage. As our team actually... There's no one on our team. We all have 6... What? Where's our red... What's the red team doing? Do we actually have no one on red team? I need a bit more health so I don't die to an arrow. Thank you. Cheeky little air shot there. I didn't realise our team was actually not doing anything at all. I was under the impression we had, like, other players, but maybe not. They're all dying to, like... They're all dying to one Dragon's Fury Pyro, apparently. That's not great. There's the spy. I saw you leave. I see you looting. I see you looting. I'm not looting. Come on, team. Really? Genuinely? No, what are you all doing, you strange people? What? Seriously? 3 points. The second person has 3 points. What? You're sitting in spawn trading or something. I'm disappointed in all of you. I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed. We're going to have to pull out the whip and talk about the whip for 5 minutes. I'm also going to use the battalions. I was talking about how great the battalions is. I don't really use it. I like the gunboats. I honestly do just run the gunboats 24/7. Unless I'm using the rocket jumper. I think the new Mantread's rocket jumper is amazing. If you haven't tried it, I'll show it off later. But the mobility you get from it is just an incredible amount of fun. Like, the fact that you can air strafe around and go whoosh. Big fun. But anyway, yeah, we're going to have to whip them all into shape. All of you. What are you doing? Pepsi Max especially. I thought more of you. What's wrong, my friend? Where did it all go wrong? Your glasses are rimless. He's a hipster. That'll be what it is. Also, let's give it a go with the stock rocket launcher, because we don't really need necessarily the health regen. It would be nice, but our team apparently doesn't have any damage, and that one less rocket is a pretty big deal. As you might have seen earlier, I would like jump them and have one less rocket. I used to run the black box all the time, but then when they changed it, I kind of stopped. But, you know, having the battalions is basically like a cheap little gunboat, so let's go back to spawn quickly. This is not an escape plan. Never mind. Why am I using... I was using the whip because I wanted to hit people with it, that's right. I'm going to switch back to the escape plan. I like being able to run away. If I'm not using the gunboats, just the fact that I can get back to a health pack is all I need. That's how I like to play. I don't like to play in, like, the kind of Roma bombing style, where you just die all the time. I like to play in the style of hiding back and constantly having a minimum of... Oh, I'm sorry, Psycho. So I'm always having a minimum of, like, 80 health or something. We're not going to get that sentry. Is the engineer going to chase us? I'm going to die to the sentry because I walked out too far. That was a bit of a mistake. But yeah, I like kind of sitting at the back. If I go below, like, 80, I will instantly run to a health pack. Even at 80, to be honest, I'll probably try and find one, but I'm alright to spam for a little bit. We're going to find a young man here to shoot, maybe. Is the sentry still here? If we do a little cheeky peek. Shooting around corners, using perspective. Because it comes out the corner of your screen, remember, not the center. You don't actually have to look at the object that you're shooting. You just kind of have to have... It's a very strange mechanic, the side shooting. But it's basically like... if you're very close to the object, like this rock, your guy shoots around it, like this. If you've never looked at this, this is how this works. But yeah, it means that you can shoot a sentry gun without ever having... I was gonna just spam another rocket, but he's using the kunai, so he probably had health regen. If you're like, you don't have to constantly, like I was doing earlier. That was a really good example, never mind. That wasn't me being an idiot dying, that was planned. If you want to stand here and shoot a sentry, you can do this, and the sentry can't shoot you, because the sentry only shoots from the center. If it can't see the center of your screen, it won't shoot you. So... oh, also, battalions. Random crit stops working. What's the word? It makes you immune to random crits. That's the word I was thinking of, Motosuke. Motosuke, sorry. The fact that you are immune to random crits basically lets you win pubs by default. And I always forget to bring that up, because, to be honest, I don't really think about crits as being a mechanic. I'd rather not, to be honest. But yeah, you can just run around, crit to your heart's content, and not be crit in advance. And the fact that you can crit and they can't kind of gives you a huge advantage, because when you are playing soldier, you will get that damage threshold that allows you to get crits, like, you know, every 8 rockets or whatever, and it just lets you kind of go on a roll. There's no health regen, obviously, but the fact that you do have a little cheeky bit more HP does mean that you're fine. As long as you don't go too nuts with the rocket jumping, as if you're using the gunboats, you can use it as an escape mechanism like that. That medic, I don't know what he was like staying back to try and fight me, maybe? Our team not capture. Are we going to have to cap for the team, maybe? Do a little cheeky inspect of the rocket launcher there as we jump between this ammo pack. But here we go. Try and kill the sniper. See how I'm continuing to do the strat that I discussed, where you just kind of run around in the backfields and camp health packs? It works pretty well. Like, I'm not exactly the world's best soldier. I've played a fair bit of it in 6s, but not at any particularly high level, mostly just peeing around. Most of my as in soldier are on just rocket jump maps and MVM, funnily enough. But when I do play it, for some reason I always seem to have like a fairly decent amount of points, and I'm assuming it's just because I'm abusing the shit out of health regen, or just doing this. Like, if you camp... Soldier is probably the best health pack camping class, because he can defend himself, you know, rockets do a shitload of damage. If someone chases you, even if you're about to die, you can do a splash damage and probably kill them. Whereas obviously like a spy you have to headshot, a scout you have to meat shot. And the fact that you can just jump to the health pack means that once you've got the health, you can instantly leave and use it to your advantage. Use that resource of HP that you've just obtained to try and deal damage. That's how I like to think about it. Very good at trading resources, Soldier is. And that's kind of... I like the balancing that they've done on Soldier. Most of his weapons trade HP for mobility or mobility for damage. So in the case of, like, the gunboats being incredibly balanced, it trades reliable damage from, like, you know, the shotgun for mobility. You literally just trade your damage for mobility. It's sometimes really good, it's sometimes really bad. The conch, it trades, as opposed to mobility, you get HP. Same with the battalions. Buff Banner is in a similar range, but you get damage. It's quite nice. With all the different rocket launchers, the stock I really like. Having 4 rockets is insane. If you get used to using the black box and you're like, oh, 1 less rocket isn't that big of a deal, try running the stock for a bit with, like, you know, a medic overhealing you or something so you can get used to having health. It's really good. You jump a medic, you will always have 3 rockets, and 3 rockets will always kill the guy you're bombing. Whereas with the black box, often, you know, they'll be left on, like, 5 health, and that's, like, a bit annoying. So yeah, genuinely, give the stock a go. That 1 extra rocket is a fairly big deal. Health regen's nice, but it's not exactly like the old one where you could spam across the map and get full health back. It's more like the... Oh, Chris, what are you doing, my dude? We need to probably get a health pack, but I'm going to say fuck it and go over here, because there's a sentry we need to deal with. We can abuse our corner shooting strategy that I showed off very, very finessely, and get our little tutor before we go downstairs, get our 4 rockets back. Here's someone setting up a sentry. But you see, I'm not really too worried about the lack of HP, because I'm hoping that I can just jump to this ammo pack. Oh, there was nothing on last. Okay, I thought there was going to be some sentries, so I was basically just popping the... battalions, so that I wouldn't die to a sentry while I was jumping to the ammo pack, or the health pack even. Come on, engineer, jump me. You're not using a rocket launcher, how will you jump me? That's alright. Let me just miss my splash damage rocket on you. Don't worry about that. And jump away to safety. Just big old advice, if you've never learnt to rocket jump, just do it. Like, soldier without rocket jumping is very strange. The fact that you can reposition yourself with, like, half a click of a button, like that heavy over there. If I was playing Scout, he'd probably instantly shred me, because I wouldn't be able to get anyway too fast, or a demo man, because I'd kill myself sticky jumping, because I'm a bad player. Whereas with Soldier, you know, if he's on that top right spawn, I can just jump to the health pack, hopefully, and then jump straight to the other spawn where it's safe. It's good. Give me a big old buff. What is it? What's the max buff, medic? I kind of want to check. Can you... No, never mind. I was going to ask him to acquiesce, but... I think it's like 330, 350. Something like that. Okay, I've got my tutoroo. Look, you're going to pop your Uber on the other boy. And I'm going to pop my thing here, and we're going to work together in unison to capture the control point, maybe? Maybe not. Also, big old tip. People forget about the whole no random crits thing of the battalions. That, first of all, that saved me. That battalion's no crits there saved me, and they have a crits medic. But you don't get headshot by snipers. Genuinely, that's a bit annoying. Had we have had our thing up there, we wouldn't have died. I genuinely don't like crits. But yeah, you don't get killed by snipers. If your team's having a huge issue, say you're pushing a very large payload map, and there's a huge sightline. Like, for example, say you are there's like a sniper on the roof, all the way up here. He's like cheating and he's going poof, 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 poof and looking up at the sky. If you get a battalions from over there from the other team and then pop it when you're there, you can go rocket jump, rocket jump, rocket jump and kill the hacker. And he won't be able to do more than like 1 damage to you because they never learned how to play the game properly. Isn't that right, the Slayer? I guess also the downside of battalions not being the conch is that you don't have health regen. It's quite nice, even if it's just a little bit of health. But you had too many random crits there, I'm sorry. It also, by the way, the battalions doesn't make you immune to backstabs, just in case you were, like, just had a thought about, hey, you know, aren't backstabs technically, like, their whole health and then times by 3 because it's a crit? Or it's like their whole health times by 4 and then it's a crit. I think, I might be wrong, but I think it does change the kill feed icon if you get backstabbed while you've got the conch up. Or the battalions, I should say. So, oh shit, I'm sorry, I took the health pack from my medic there. That's alright. We're gonna jump to safety. And by jump to safety, I mean immediately hit my head on the wall. That's alright. We're going to use the old height advantage. Here we go. Because I could have just blindly peeked that corner like I was actually about to, and just walked around there and instantly died to like 8 different people. Also, I heard a spy backstab, so I'm just going to shoot some pretend rockets over there. If you are unsure about what's around a corner, because you do have all this mobility, abuse the shit out of it. Like, you don't have to peek that corner like everyone else. You can if you want. Get up onto a nice little roof here. Most maps have something like this where you can peek a corner safely. Hello, we got a little pyro pick. I'm a little annoyed that the sentry was there. Quite a strange spot to put it, to be honest, but that's alright. We know the sentry's there now. I guess the reason we died was because it shot a rocket. Because I thought normally you basically take like no damage from sentries, don't you? Yeah, you remove 50% damage from sentries. So normally if you'd last like 3 seconds, you actually last 6 seconds. And since you've normally got an overheal or at least the additional 20 HP, you can go for a decent old time. You often don't even need, like, an Uber to get rid of the sentries. Sometimes it's better than an Uber in the case of... What the fuck? There's a heavy in there? What happened to me? Did I shoot my own rocket at the floor? Okay, we're actually going to switch... This is a very, very unique situation, but we're going to switch to the original. Because that sentry's on the left of our screen, I want to be able to shoot around the corner. And you can't do that with the stock, because the stock will always hit the wall, like you saw there. So we're going to try and abuse... view models a little bit. You could, I guess, technically just switch and look around the left corner, but let's not do that. That's going a little bit too cute with it. I'm a little annoyed because there's now 58 pyros, but you see, I saw that pyro was staring at me, so I tried to jump to get a bit of an advantage, so I didn't have to fight him. You're gonna jump me? Fire some pre-fire rockets, maybe? No? You're pre-firing my rockets. Alright, let me just spam you a little bit. Yeah, also, hit sounds. Use the someone just got 2 butter knives with the wanga prick in the chat. Okay, sorry. That was required my attention. What was I even going to say? Completely. I've been mind flooded by the amazingness that was a double butter knife. Motosuke. Thank you, my friend. I'm glad that the escape plan doesn't make sandwiches take less. But Christ Almighty, Jesus, what was I? It was such a good little conversation topic about something. I don't know. It doesn't matter. We're just going to jump to an opposite spawn and spam the sentry and probably die to a rocket jumping soldier. Maybe not. No, you aren't going to travel up the stairs? Okay, no worries. We're going to just quickly do that, and hopefully there's no sentry below us, and we can just sneakily get around to the full health pack. The fact that this is a full health pack, by the way, is incredible information. Don't consider it the same as most health packs. The fact that that's a full health pack is basically just... Consider that as a respawn cabinet that appears every 10 seconds. If you are, like, doing anything on last, you should probably try to do it around the... Oh, there's also snipers, so they can't do it. If I just sit around the cart with this battalions, our team's won. Unless they all get backstabbed, they actually can't kill us all, I think. Yeah, there you go, very strong. Do you want to get onto the cart there, please? My mind got flooded by the butter knife. It was good. But anyway, that's alright. I think I've managed to cover most of the things I wanted to. I didn't manage to show off the rocket jumper. We can do that specifically in the future. It's basically just fun. It doesn't really need to be spoken about, but if you haven't tried it out, Mantread's rocket jumper, give it a little go. But yeah, that'll end the video for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Do let me know. We'll be continuing lots and lots of nice variety. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.